Good morning, welcome. This is the Journey of Mela Lifestyle, morning moments, madness, and meditations. We made it to Friday, right? Like, what do we say? Family Fun Friday. I am telling you guys, on yesterday, I was holding on by a thread. Like, you could see it in my temperament, right? I was like encouraging you as I was encouraging myself. But I think one of the things that I really remember when I ended our meditation yesterday, and just talking about how like I was going to go to dinner. There was nothing else. I've done all that I could do. I was just choosing to believe something different. And so I went to dinner, and like I'm back at it. Like I'm back at it today. And in New York City, it's 20% capacity indoor dining, and you have to leave by 10 o'clock. So like it's like 9:45, and all of a sudden there's like this rush in the restaurant. It's like I low-key feel like I'm back in high school, like when you're like, I gotta get home before curfew. So but all that to say, I'm still grateful. I was grateful to be in a restaurant, to just be social, and to engage, even if just for a moment, right? Like how we engage even if just for a moment. So what does it look like today? Like I always, if you're just joining us and you're new, my name is Camila Tibbetts. This originally started as my journey of just taking you through my experience as a founder in launching Mela Lifestyle, which is a luxury and lifestyle home site with curated products. And originally, I just wanted to take you guys through that process because in the past, I've scaled and founded 2 brands, but this is new for me. And I just wanted to share what that looks like, right? Like go behind the veil and share the transparency of what it's like to start something, and all the lessons and all the things we get to learn along the way. And so the website's launched. It's been great. I love all your input. We're getting ready for, they call it BFCM, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So we're doing all the things for that behind the scenes. So today is just a big day in terms of like content, filming, a lot of meetings. You saw my story earlier in the week where I ordered these beautiful textiles from a company and a brand called Magic Linen from Lithuania, and they got here this week, but like they're still here for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to set a table around them and doing some filming, but I just want to show you, like, these are my favorite colors. So these are the napkins, and they're pretty. Like when you have a napkin, I want to show you, want it to be a larger napkin, right? Because you can do a lot more with it. And don't be afraid also to use a napkin as a placemat. So, at Mela Lifestyle, we really sell things where there's easy, because we know, like, especially now, it's going to be more of a low-key Thanksgiving. But don't be afraid to use your napkin in a lot of ways. You can do a napkin ring. So these are the colors that I haven't decided which color I'm going to use for the shoot today. And when I say quote unquote shoot, it's just me, because like it's COVID, like no one's filming in my house. It's crazy. So these are the colors. This is the charcoal gray. I love this for Thanksgiving, like more with an accent. You could do something like this, just because you can have the charcoal gray throughout the year. It's actually one of my favorite colors. This clear, I don't even know if you can see it because it matches my sweater. So it's this one. I also wanted to have you guys have something like this, because this is just good for Thanksgiving. It's good for harvest. It's good for fall. You could even do it like with the nice crimson red and take it into holiday or even New Year's. You could do it with the white, with the gold. So there's a lot of. Don't be afraid of this like hunter green color. There's so much that you can do with this. Even you can see in the back, I use a lot of that just in my apartment. And this is another color that I have. So all of these colors are on the Mela Lifestyle website, and they come in a placemat, a napkin, and I also have these really cute like little tea towels. My girlfriend was like, "What's a tea towel?" And I'm like, it's like a dish towel. Or maybe you may call it a tea towel, you may call it a dish towel, you may call it a rag. I don't care what you call it, but as long as you're using something like to dry your dishes, to dry your hands, especially when we're washing our hands a lot. But what I like about these tea towels is that they have a cute little ruffle on the bottom. So I'll try to like accent or do like a still shot just with the tea towel, because I'd never seen anything like that. So that's on the agenda for me for Friday, right? We'll do the shoot for the table settings, and then we do the in the kitchen with Camila. So I'm going to film making like this really great mac and cheese. It's like I use like Gruyere cheese, cheddar cheese, like Parmesan cheese. Like it's so good. So I'm going to attempt, you guys got to work with me, you know, in these times, you got to pivot. I'm going to make the mac and cheese and just show you some steps similar to what we did with the cider, which is still on our @Mela.lifestyle Instagram. So that's still on there if you want to make that cider this weekend or for your guest for Thanksgiving. So we're going to do that, and I have a meeting with my team around like analytics and social and like how we're engaging. And it's really great to have different people on your team that see things from a different way, because for me, I feel like the engagement is like when I'm talking to you, right? I feel like the engagement is when you direct message me and I message back. Like to me, like that's the engagement, because I'm very personal and just like, you know, all the things. But you know, when you could even, I always like, remember my philosophy is like everybody wins. So this is information that you can have. I mean, she's going to drill it down more. It's more detailed, but like, even if you look on your Instagram now under analytics, you know, there's things that, there's a method to the madness. You know, what are your impressions? What are your reach? What demographic, like what part of, the country are people coming from? How are they engaging? Are they coming from a hashtag? Are they coming from directly from your feed? Like all these things. And so we'll have a meeting around that today. And again, like I'm just like, I don't do numbers, right? Like, but it's always good to have someone on your team. And I think what's so grateful about the team that we have at Mela Lifestyle is that everyone's skill set, no one's trying to, you know, we don't wear multiple hats and do the same thing. Like everyone has their skill set, everyone has their tool, it's sharp, and everyone's firing on all cylinders, right? And that's what you want in a team. Like you want everyone to show up and just doing everything they need to do, because it just makes like a unit, right? It just makes like this flow that's happening. So definitely, like, we're getting prepared for Thanksgiving. I know it's going to be different for so many of us. I know a lot of you have decided now of whether you're going home for Thanksgiving, or, you know, I know the CDC said that they prefer that people don't travel. So what would that look like? Like, how can we engage? How can you like engage with family around Thanksgiving where it still feels very personal? One suggestion that I have is like, in your family, when you all came together, if everyone made a particular dish, like do something really cute. Like each person assign one person, even if you're all over the country, all over the world, one person makes one dish. And even when you see me today, like low key just filming with my phone, like how I'm making it, start to exchange that with each other. You know, utilize Instagram for so many more things. Like create your own private stories, create messages, and start to share with family, you in your home or on a Zoom call, on a FaceTime, of you making your particular dessert, right? And then what's so great about family is that we have these traditions. We have, you know, all of us are a part of such a rich culture of things that we do in our family, and we've never really sat down and put together a recipe. So why not now, right? Like why not have each person just write, you know, like I'm always like, what's that? We make this cornbread dressing, not stuffing. Let's be clear. It's not stuffing, it's dressing. We make this cornbread dressing in my family, and every year I'm like, how do I make it again? Like, and I make it every year. My Aunt Marcine made it. And so why not take this opportunity now, since we are in our homes, to just write down those recipes that, you know, your grandma always made, your aunt always made, like that one dip like your uncle only makes, and that's the only thing you can assign to him. Like, why not make a digital cookbook or a family recipe book, or just share the experience with each other? So I'll start to think of throughout the week different ways of how we can still engage and how we can still have connection, even in the midst of these uncertain times. Like, no, it won't be a 24, 12, 6-person Thanksgiving meal like it usually is, but we can create an opportunity to gather, right? And so I'll give you guys some tips along the way. They'll probably be on Mela Lifestyle, or we'll do a blog post with some different ideas. And so when I think about the mac and cheese, you know, I think about, let's just go into our 2 meditations, because it's Friday. I'm already bouncing. It's already Friday. Like, I don't know why I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally going to be in my house making content, but I digress. So So when I think about the mac and cheese, right, there's so many things that go into the mac and cheese, and I've really like progressed just in a natural way as a cook, and like as I entertain. Like, it didn't always start out like it is now. I just learned how to just figure it out and invite people into my home who knew me, who would watch me figure it out, and it's just been a beautiful thing. And one of the things that I was thinking about this morning, like I have a lot of salt in my kitchen, right? And there's different types of salt depending on the meal that I'm making. So like, there's seasoning salt, right? I literally, when I moved to New York a year ago, I literally have this Himalayan sea salt that I brought with, no joke. I'll take a picture of it and show you guys. Like, I had this Himalayan sea salt that I brought with me from California because it's just like valuable. So there's seasoning salt. I have Himalayan salt. I have garlic salt. I have like truffle infused salt flakes. And so when I think about that, I was thinking about that when I was preparing to make the mac and cheese this afternoon, and I was thinking about sprinkle with flavor. So that's our first meditation this morning, is sprinkle with flavor. And what do I mean by that? I mean that salt. What does salt do? Like, salt flavors a meal, right? And like, you can have a meal that's too salty, like it has too much flavor, like it's just too much. And so what the salt really does, it's there to enhance the meal. And so when I think about our meditation this morning, I wanted you to think about sprinkle with flavor. Like, I want you, when you go into, while you're making your meals, or while you're making your dish, or while you're making your drink, or whatever it is for you, that dessert, and you're putting things together and you're putting the ingredients in, I want you to think about our meditation, sprinkle with flavor. And I want you to think about where in your life have you really been enhanced, right? Like, who are the people, this is a season of gratitude. Like, who in your life has been that flavor for you? Who in your life has really enhanced who you already are in such an impactful way, right? And really take a moment to just like, if they're physically here on earth, like reach out to them and let them know. And if they're not, then just have a moment and just say, like, this is a person in my life that has really sprinkled my life with flavor. This is a person in my life who has really enhanced my life. And sometimes people that enhance your life are people that tell you the truth. And maybe in the beginning, like, when what they say to you, you may be like, you can't talk to me like that. But sometimes the truth tellers in our life are the biggest enhancers of our life. So I want you to think of our first meditation, sprinkle with flavor. Who are the people in your life that have really enhanced your life in such an impactful way? And when you think of what that is, I also want you to think of who are you? Are you that way to someone else, right? So for me, a good example of me, like, there's a woman in my life, I call her like my spiritual mom, and her name is Bertha. And I don't know if she really wanted me to say her name, but whatever. I don't think she's on Instagram. And so, she has really enhanced my life in such an impactful way. Like, meeting with her weekly, like even in San Diego, and she has really taught me how to think about my thoughts, and she has really taught me how to really focus on today and not live in the past and not live in the future, but like really be solid in that. And she shared some other things that are very intimate that really set me on a course and launched me so that I can weather like all the storms that I'm in. So that is someone in my life who has really enhanced my life. And when I think about the conversations that I've had with her, and when I think about those times when she said something to me and then she'll say, okay, now tell me what I said, right? When I think about that, I also think about how I get to do that for people one-on-one. And I also think about how I get to do that through instruction and inspiration through Mela Lifestyle. How like that has really become my passion, is that, everyone's not gonna have a Bertha. Like, everyone's not gonna have someone that they meet with every week that they can call, that calls them on their ish. Like, everyone's not gonna have that. But what we're doing at Mela Lifestyle is that we are really building a community and a gathering place where we can do that. So, side note, by the way, this is real life. My daughter's home from the dorms and her friend is visiting, and I don't know low-key what they're doing, but I'm about to have a mama moment. But I'm not. Grace and dignity, I'm not gonna do it, but we'll see after. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Whatever. Okay, so first meditation, this is what I love about lies, because it's lime. First meditation is sprinkle with flavor. Who in your life has enhanced your life the same way salt enhances a meal? Who has done that for you in your life? And are you doing that, paying it forward and doing that for someone else? The second meditation is I want you to think about, as we go into the Thanksgiving season and as we think about gathering in a non-traditional way, which honestly is like, that's what we do at Mela Lifestyle. Like, it's all about individuality and who you are and coming together in the honesty of who you are, but then coming together as a movement. So as we start to think about this going into Thanksgiving, I wanted you to think about be lifted in your place, right? May you be lifted in your place. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we talked earlier this week about having a presence, right? We talked about how when you go into a situation that you carry something inside of you, and that your self-care, that as the founder of Water Body Express, that revolutionary act of self-care, if you have that for you and you can create that presence in you alone, when you go into the marketplace, when you go into a family situation, when you go on that Zoom call, if your cup is really full in who you are, then that can pour out into anyone and everyone that you engage with. And that right there is presence. And that right there truly is engaging. So when we talked earlier about, okay, yeah, social, brands, how we engage, how we market. Yeah, that's one way. But like, if you really, I think that brands and people, I know for me, I can do that in a really effective way on a larger scale because I do that every day in my life, right? I do that every day in my life. I retreat and fill myself up and go to my secret place. I do that, and then I push out and I engage, right? And it's that steady flow. Yesterday we talked about, are you in the river, are you in the stream? So it's that steady flow. I'm not pouring out so much where I'm fatigued, but I'm also being filled every day, right? And that is engagement. And when we're filled every day in who we are, and when we have a sense of how we hold our shoulders back, what strengthens us, what gives us pleasure, what gives us momentum, what gives us enhancement, then we can be lifted up in such a solid place that it exudes into the area that's around us, right? It exudes into our home. And that's our mission here at Mela Lifestyle, right? That who we are in the world, who we are, and people know us with all the different hats that we have, that when we come back into the home, we're not having to regroup and really change, that we're centered in our core, in our firm foundation of I am enhanced in presence and I engage like this all the time, right? And that's our second meditation, to be lifted in your place. So my hope as we go into this weekend before Thanksgiving, as we go into how we're going to gather, whether it's virtually, whether it's in person, whether it's outside, whether it's social distance, whether it's with time constraints, whatever that is, that you will be like salt, right? Like you will be like my Himalayan sea salt that I, trekked across the country when I moved to New York. That you will be that enhancement to whatever environment that you are in, or whatever environment that you're being invited into. And so I just wish you a great weekend. It's Friday, Family Fun Friday. I'll send some sneak peeks of me making that mac and cheese, because it's like, it's all juicy and wet, and the cheese and the roux, and it's good. But I can't eat the whole thing afterwards. We don't know about that. But I just want to thank you. I want you to enjoy your Friday. I don't want you to feel like a sense of sorrow or a sense of lack that it can't be like it was, but the promise and the hope that you could be lifted in your place and still have a gathering that will still hit you in your heart. Because really, it's not about where we are, it's about how it lands on our heart, right? And so my hope for you this weekend is that you will think about engagement, that you will think about gathering, but that you will think about presence, and that will land on your heart in a mighty way. That will land on your heart in a visceral way that is awe-inspiring in so many ways. So thank you for joining me this morning on the Journey of Mela Lifestyle. And remember, we're gonna grow better, we're gonna do better, and it's more than a lifestyle, it's a movement. Ciao for now. See you guys.